If we want something to actually use in the cold open, we probably should stop talking about Marvel.
God damn it. You're right.
We've been recording for more than the 20 plus minutes, and most of it's probably unusable.
Well,
Yeah. Or we could just start the episode because it's just the editor's job to make something fun out of it, and that's not me for the audio part.
but it's me.
Times were tough, so I sold my soul.
Talking behind
I
the
don't think I'll ever
song.
regain control. Devil looked me in the eye, now I look the other way. What else could I do? I just stood at the doorway, knew I'd rather be drunk with you. I'd rather be drunk.
Hey, Internet. I have no enthusiasm. It's Highway 47. I'm vomit over there's Dracofunk.
Hey, I'm here. I'll have the enthusiasm for both of us. Yeah. Enthusiasm.
And tonight, we're getting spooky from a place of space. It's Phantom from Space. I did a Shaggy style intro, and Dracofunk's gonna tell us about it.
Hey, this movie came out sometime in 1953. I didn't look any further than the year.
You didn't see May 15th?
May 15th, yeah. May 15th of 1953. And it has an IMDb rating of 4.1, which isn't the highest.
It's right in that boring territory.
Yeah, but wait till you hear the tomatometer score.
Oh, do you want me to guess?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. 7 because I'd already looked it up.
It doesn't have a tomatometer score.
Oh. I was thinking of the audience score.
Yeah, and you're thinking of the wrong movie because this one has an audience score of 8.
Oh.
You're thinking of Otherworld, the other
Unknown
movie
World?
that we watched. Yes, the other
The one that has
World.
an IMDb score of 4.1?
Yes, and an audience score of 7, not 8. So this is a little bit, like a teensy-weensy bit better than Unknown World.
Bet this one doesn't have a light that says poison gas.
Unknown World, that's the one where they went into the Earth, right?
Yeah.
That's the one where I got actually very angry at the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, the best part about our watch through of that was you ranting about how the movie was completely pointless.
Oh, so this bodes well.
Absolutely.
So
and it's a 4-drink minimum. What are you drinking, Dracofunk?
I'm gonna drink this Red Bridge that's been sitting on my desk for over a month.
Skunkin'.
I really hope not. Okay, now here's the thing. As soon as I open this, it's going to overflow and I'm going to spill it all over me.
Waiting.
So, let's just do it. Okay, it's open. Okay.
Are we going to have to censor that for YouTube?
What did it sound like?
All right, so how are we watching this, Dracofunk?
This is the first Friday public domain movie, so hopefully there's a countdown right now. If there's not, it's because somebody was a not nice person and reported this movie, even though it is public domain. So that's how we're watching it.
So you're saying if you can't see an art YouTube video, you should go to one of the other YouTube videos where it's available?
Probably.
Cool.
Or this is probably on archive.org.
I didn't check there.
I haven't checked there either, but I'm almost positive it's on there because every other public domain movie we've watched has been on archive.org. And if there's only some way I could,
keep stalling, maybe
keep stalling,
talking really slow so that possibly maybe you could get the site to load and type it in the search bar and see if you can find Phantom from Space from 1953.
I have found it, in fact, and it is on it is on archive.org. But we've been watching all these from a set of DVDs.
The good old Mill Creek collection.
Yeah,
Because there was like 70 of them at the half price bookstore.
that's right. So anyway, we're gonna get this show on the road.
Oh yeah, I gotta do that.
Yeah, so Vomit's gonna give us a countdown, and the video will start. Hopefully, if it hasn't, start yours along with us. And if that's happened, we're upset about it too, because every first Friday you should just be able to turn on our video and watch the movie with us and pretend we're in your room, because that's not creepy or anything.
I'm glad you got that enthusiasm.
I'm trying to get all the enthusiasm. So anyway, let's do this.
All right, this is Phantom from Space, and we're starting it together in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I almost forgot to press play and go.
So is that clouds or smoke or
Space?
that's
Space.
it's
The final frontier. These are the voyages of clouds and lightning. The things space are known for. Actually, they aren't.
Phantom from Space.
Nice fade out.
This is Washington, D.C.
That's a
an
plane.
airplane.
In the files of the Central Bureau, there is a story so strange in its implications that it defies ordinary classification.
This is making me dizzy.
It is the story of a handful of people who, in the course of one desperate
Those are planes.
night, held back
Those
a wave
jets.
of panic and pandemonium.
That's a
It began
plane.
after sundown.
That's the same plane again.
Time, 7:15.
I have not seen a
As
single
Flight A
people.
Coast Patrol from Travis Field was returning to base. When the nightly Air Force transport pointed north toward Japan via
North
the Great
towards
Circle
Japan?
route.
From
While
Washington,
at
D.C.
sea,
I
the
missed
Navy
something.
and Coast Guard maintained their usual round-the-clock vigil.
Okay.
And from the equator to the Arctic, the radar network swept the skies with eyes that never sleep. Time,
Sleep eyes.
7:19. An unidentified object was picked up 200 miles southwest of Point Barrow, Alaska.
Alaska.
7:27.
South of Japan.
Unidentified object confirmed at Fairbanks, Alaska.
Fairbanks, Alaska. Point north
Heading
Japan.
south-southeast, 170 degrees. Height, 75,000 feet. Estimated speed, 5,000 miles per hour. White warning.
Oh man.
7:39.
I feel sorry for anything going 5,000 miles per hour in the atmosphere.
Due west of Vancouver, British Columbia. Course,
But it was 73,000 feet, so that's probably okay.
height,
Okay.
60,000 feet.
It's going so
Estimated
fast.
speed, down to 3,600 miles per hour.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yellow warning.
Yellow warning.
7:54. First interceptor flight airborne. Point of interception, 80 miles due west of San Francisco, California. 7:55. Unidentified object past point of interception. Red
Yeah.
warning.
Red. Okay.
8:11. Morro Bay, California. Height, 50,000 feet.
Okay.
Estimated speed, 2,000 miles per hour.
Still going pretty fast for ammo.
8:15. Santa Monica, California. Height, 10,000 feet. Speed, 1,200 miles per hour.
Yeah.
8:18. All traces of unidentified object gone.
Cool.
Red warning lifted.
That's
By
probably
8:25 at the
fine.
Los Angeles branch of the
Nothing to worry about
Communications
here.
Commission, reports of strong interference with radio and television reception began to pour in from the beach area. The monitors
Everything's-
went to
don't
work
worry about it.
immediately.
It's
Mobile units were ordered to
much
converge on the
beaches.
vicinity of the disturbance.
Beaches.
Pinpoint direction finding devices began to trace the trouble to its source.
Oh,
it's the Google car from the 50s.
the Google car from the 50s.
This is Mobile 1, Hazen speaking. We're
Don't
at
recline
Ocean
your
Beacon
car when
Way,
you're speaking.
Interference strength 2. Bearing 27 degrees. Over.
Is
Mobile
your
1 from center. Roger.
is that a Dutch
Over.
car?
Mobile Center from Mobile 7, over.
It's a
Go
Dutch
ahead,
oven
Mobile
car.
7.
This is Mobile 7. On the Pacific Center and Beach 4. Interference strength
Why
3.
aren't
bearing
the
39 degrees.
cars
Why?
level?
This is Mobile Center.
Because
Roger.
they're Dutch, so
Stand
they're
by.
filmed at Dutch angles.
Mobile 1 and Mobile 7. From Mobile Center.
I don't agree
Point of
with Dutch oven
interception
angles.
estimated 3 miles north of surf. Repeat, 3 miles north of surf. Acknowledge.
This is Mobile 7,
You're
Roger.
just raking me over the
Mobile
coals
one,
here,
Roger.
Dracofunk.
Mobile 7, Roger.
Yep.
We're going out.
We have nothing to go on with this episode already.
No, it's
Oh,
don't die.
I'll see what I can do. Hitchhiking with Google.
Yes, what is it?
Take me to a phone quick. I need an ambulance.
What's the matter?
Ambulance?
My husband and Pete out there in
Ambulance.
the picnic grounds just above the beach. They've been hurt.
Well, this is a communications car.
We can't call it ambulance.
I'm
It
Mobile
is
1
communications
Central, over.
car.
Did you make that out, Charlie?
Not a word.
A Mobile 1 to Central. I can't reach you. Repeat. They must be getting us.
Dial
all right.
tone.
A Mobile 1 to Central. Have an ambulance sent to beach at surf. Emergency. 2 men hurt. Acknowledge. Roger now.
That's what they get for putting R2-D2 in command.
Tell us what happened.
This man, he just kept coming at us. It was awful.
Who?
I don't know. He was wearing a suit like a diver. Hurry, please. They're hurt.
Charlie, you better wait here. I'll go down and take a look.
Nightman on top of the sea.
The young woman's hysteria became
What could
obvious
it
as they
be?
reached the picnic grounds at the beach. There was no sign of the mysterious intruder, and little could be done for her husband and their friend until
They
the
died.
ambulance arrived.
They died not even having a name.
What was on fire right there? Did you see that?
Cooking.
Hi, fellas. How are you doing?
Frogs.
We're just taking another reading now. What happened down there? The police took the girl and one of the guys to the station. What about the other one? Well, he's on the way to the morgue. That was her husband. You're right on the
Oof.
button, Charlie.
Oh.
44.7.
Wow.
Report back to Central if you find
Feeling that
anything
one.
else. Charlie, grab that portable and check the beach, would you? Got it right here. I'll pick you up right here in about an hour. Where are you going? Police asked me to drop by the station and sign a report. I'll see you later. If you don't, you know where to look for the body.
Well, he killed himself.
Yep. Police station, Div 6.
Divided by 6. This is
Like I
1/6
said,
of a police
We were
station.
just starting at 8 when we heard something cracking through the sand toward us. I looked up and couldn't see anything. Then Betty screamed.
At what? I thought you couldn't see anything.
At first we couldn't. Then this guy started toward us.
What kind of a guy?
How should I know? He was wearing some kind of a helmet over his head. He could have been a deep sea diver or anything.
All right.
Looked like
After
a
you
guy.
saw this diver, what happened?
Well, we jumped up. Ed, that was Betty's husband, yelled at him to stop, but he just kept coming. I never saw anything like it. He didn't say anything. He just kept moving in.
Oh, man.
And then you say he
Diving
shot you.
suit, and he just kept
We didn't give
coming
him a
like a
chance.
proper seaman.
Ed grabbed a piece of wood and took a swing at him. That didn't stop him. He caught the end. That's all I remember.
Just because a man's taking a walk is no reason to slug him. Besides, you don't look like a guy who frightens so easy.
How would you feel if somebody with a crazy helmet with pipes sticking out of it came at you in the dark? And look,
Only
I
one
know
way to
this
find out.
sounds crazy, but there wasn't any head in that helmet.
No head. No head at all.
It's the truth.
I think you need some coffee.
I
I
could
don't
use
want
some
anything.
coffee. I'll take his
I'm-
coffee.
I'm not going to make the joke about the head.
Okay, thanks for coming down, Hazen. Hope I didn't put
Like
you
a
out.
proper
No
seaman.
trouble, so long. You too.
No head for a proper seaman.
All right, let's start at the beginning. How well did you know the dead man? And his wife?
Betty and I went to school together. I knew Ed a year.
How long were they married?
About a year.
6 minutes.
Wasn't her husband a little older than she?
I don't know.
But you said you and Mrs. Evans went to school together. And you never discussed anything personal with her?
She did mention he was older, yes.
How much?
Is this all of this
15,
important to
20
the
years.
Phantom of the Space?
What difference does that make?
That wasn't too hard,
Sure.
now, was it? Where do you live?
629 and a half East Palm Court.
Wait, what?
629 and a half East
That's
Palm
where the
Court.
Evans live, isn't it?
Yeah, I board with him.
You do, huh? Now, Mrs. Evans is a good-looking woman.
What are you trying to say?
Well, she's single now, man.
That's true. Good looking single woman.
Where?
Did you say seagull woman?
Yeah,
Sure.
I'll leave right away. Been enough murder. Near the beach. Keep an eye on this guy until I get back.
Beach? Near where the seamen
Right
live?
where you are.
I wonder if
At least
it's that
until
guy.
Mrs. Evans feels well enough to talk.
The guy
What
with
do you
the
want from
diving
her?
suit?
Oh, I just want to see
No
your
head?
first. After all, you went to school together, remember?
Sucks to go to the beach with no head.
Breathing underwater is pretty easy when you don't have a nose.
You say there were no witnesses, huh?
None yet.
Anything missing?
I don't think so. The cash register wasn't touched.
Get a breakdown of the inventory as soon as you can. What about fingerprints?
The boys are working on them now.
Wow. Smack!
Sorry I'm late.
What kept you so long?
The lieutenant asked me to hang around a while.
Well, what's the score?
It looks like one of those things. Pretty girl, older husband, young boarder. Kid claims
How did he
some
know
guy
about the
well
older
ahead
husband?
knocked
He'd
the old
left
man
by
out.
then, didn't he?
You don't say. Anything else?
Yeah, he had a diver's outfit with
Little,
horns.
little details.
No. He's going to have to do better than that.
How are we doing?
I took a reading about 10 minutes ago. The radiation is going out with the tide. What about the radio phone?
It's working fine again. I just got a call from Central. They said Mobile 7 picked up some new trouble northeast of here.
Here we go again.
Hop in.
Guess you're driving.
Who reported this murder?
There he is there. He lives next door. His name's George Nelson.
Hey, Mr. Nelson.
Yes, sir.
Come here, will you?
It's George.
I'm Lieutenant Bowers, homicide. You found this body?
That's right. He must have just locked up for the night when this happened.
How do you know that?
Well, he usually does around this time.
What were you doing here?
I was sitting home watching the fights on TV, and all of a sudden the thing started acting up.
What has that got to do with it?
Well, you don't know this set. You know, it wouldn't work at all when I came home to supper. Then all of a sudden it cleared up fine. So I thought, well, I'll get set to look at the fights again, and all of a sudden out it goes again. So I thought maybe the battery station down here was overcharging the circuit, and so I came down to take a look.
Well, that makes sense, yeah.
Hey, don't you ever quit work? What's up this time?
Another murder? What are you doing here, Hazen?
Same as before. Still trying to track down that signal in the
Hey, does that stuff work on TV, too?
Well, it has been for hours.
What'd I tell you?
Oh, yeah, okay. There's a fire
What's the
on
matter?
the TV. I'm
See,
not
who's
working
looking
on
on
the
the
setting the
plane?
battery
Well,
charger.
at least we know we're on the right track. How'd you make out with that boarder?
You made out with the
He's
border?
still sticking to his story. The guy had no head.
Well, I'll be seeing it. So long.
Right.
Man, nobody has a head in this movie.
I think they're talking about the same other guy. The same headless man. Except everything is so blurry that those guys might not have heads right now.
And so the communications team resumed its mission to track the mysterious interference to its source. Via accurate
I
readings
keep waiting
taken
for
at
those to
regular
like get
intervals
knocked off by a tree
by
branch.
Yeah,
stationary and
that's the same
mobile
thing I keep
units,
thinking.
it was determined that the disturbance was moving in a northeasterly direction.
Towards Japan.
By 10:34, Mobile Center had
If you go in a
pinpointed
straight
the
enough line, you'll
disturbance at the
eventually
edge
hit
of the
Japan.
Huntington oil fields.
If you go in too straight of a line, you'll
Units
just
1 and
leave the
7
surface of the
were
planet.
instructed to close in.
Hey, Charlie, do you see what I see? Yeah,
That's a fire.
Oil field. Let's hope our trouble's burning up. Well, there's only one way to find out.
Look, Sarge.
Okay.
Two murders and an explosion in one precinct is big news. Now, come on, you can't pin it all on the young border. Or can you?
Very funny. Yeah?
I'm Hazen of the Communications Commission.
Oh, the lieutenant's waiting for you.
Thank you.
Oh, man.
Might have murdered 2 people and set a place on fire.
Communications Commission.
Tom, just kind of...
Still didn't get ahead.
Interference happen very often.
Never anything like this.
See,
It's
he's
on the
drinking
move all the
coffee.
time.
Need some ham with a transmitter in the car.
I think they're both drinking coffee.
We don't get a definite
These guys know what's up.
Just interference.
And it's coffee.
And you have no idea what it is, huh?
He didn't actually drink his
Not yet.
coffee.
How are you making out?
Not so good.
I think
You were here when I
poisoned.
questioned that boy about the murder at the beach.
Did you get anything more out of it?
Yeah. Come on with me. You might want to see this.
Have I mentioned to you that I get really excited when I see the cigarette burns?
Thanks, you can
The
go
old
now.
movie markers on these?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Are you sure this
Oh.
is what the man looks like?
Maybe.
Okay.
What do you say, Betty?
Well, just about, only I think the tubes were a little lower down.
And you still insist there was no head inside the helmet?
I'm
10
positive there
ring
was.
tips.
What about you?
Well, it was dark. I couldn't swear to it.
Thanks, that'll be all.
You mean we can go
So,
Yeah, for the time being.
I haven't really been in my office since last recording session.
Come on, Betty.
Ooh.
Kind of changed your mind about those two.
Do you remember why?
Yeah, I guess I have.
Yeah.
I will bring in the old
How's your
man.
chair?
It's sitting on top of my trash
Don't
can.
tell me you believe this story.
What are you
about
sitting
this-
on?
This whatever.
I had to get another chair.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the trash can.
You're the watchman at the Huntington oil fields?
No, so I have a kitchen table chair, and like it's not nearly as comfortable as my other chair.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Like I said before,
Yeah,
I was just
it's also
close to the
slightly
gate
higher.
I saw this fella coming up.
Oh.
I was never so scared
So-
in my life.
Yes, go on.
Well, he wasn't the man.
10 ring tips.
10 ring tips.
Well, he wouldn't stop when I hollered at him.
Top 5 ways
He
to
just pushed his way
stop
right in
Tony
there through
Stark
the
from
gate
building it in a
and
cave.
walked right up to the tank.
You carry a gun? Did you try to stop him?
Well, he was much too close to the tank. I was afraid to shoot. So I thought I might call for help. And just as I got to the shack, the tank blew up. Oh, you should see the sight.
Yeah, sir, can you give us a description of this man? How would you say he was dressed?
Well, sort of like
A
I
scuba
said
suit.
before,
He didn't have a head.
he wore a sort of pliers, not outfit, with a helmet attached to it.
How tall was he?
Oh, he was a giant of a man. And he had tubes sticking out of that thing, that helmet he wore.
Can you tell us what his face looked like?
Also, though he got pretty close to me, I could swear the man had no face.
Now, if you saw this man again, would you
Man
recognize
face.
him?
No
I mean by his
face.
outfit.
Oh, I'll never
It's like the
forget
horse
that
with no
sight
name.
If I live to be 100, sir.
Did you say this is the man?
The Headless Horseman took up scuba diving.
Sure, that's him.
Thank you very much. You may go now.
All right, sir.
Well, Higson, what do you say now?
Beats me. The descriptions check all right. This could be some kind of flying suit. High altitude equipment.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking. Well, how do you explain that stuff about the missing head?
No, we can discount that. These people were frightened. It's night. Nobody really took a close look at it.
I guess you're right.
Okay.
Whoever he is, that outfit
Thank
doesn't
you,
look like one of
communications
ours.
man, for telling the police officer how to
Could have been
investigate.
dropped by parachute.
Somebody has to do it.
Sabotage?
I think we better wire a report to Washington and see what they say.
Oh, you can use our teletype. Well, Tip-Off the only place police to be on the lookout for something unusual.
Hey, wait a minute. What about the press?
Oh, I don't think they know too much now. We better keep it that way for a while at least, till we find out whether our friend is still around here.
Well, if he is, I think we can find him for you. My hunch is that he's carrying something around that's causing all this disturbance, whether he knows it or not.
Oh, good.
Neat. So we just go wherever TV isn't.
Yeah. Kill that page 1 lead. They let the boarder and the girl go. How do I know? Maybe the lieutenant thinks that the guy in a flying suit knocked off the husband. Nah. No, not a chance. Not a chance of an exclusive on that picture. They're making
Not
a
a
blanket
chance in
release
hell.
in the morning. Oh, there's a guy from the Communications
Do
Commission
we know
there
his
now.
name? Do we actually know anybody's name?
Okay.
Didn't we learn the husband's name? it's
Sorry
dead.
to interrupt you, Lieutenant.
Yeah, what is it, Jim?
There's a telephone.
Oh,
Jim.
he's
This guy's
yeah,
name's Jim.
You were waiting for it. That was fast.
and now he's gone.
Well,
Well, here's our answer.
Looks like they never sleep in Washington. Just to contact a Major Andrews, care of Dr. Wyatt, director of the Griffith Institute.
that's a
Hey, it's
name.
kind of late. Man, I'll give him a call.
While you're at it, I'll go out the car and check in with Central.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I know anybody's name except for that one Jim.
Good old Jim.
Well, that's the story up till now.
Where'd Jim go?
We got in touch with Washington.
He
They
finished
told us
his
to
job.
Contact you here.
Very interesting. What do you think, Doctor?
Yes.
When I
Doctor,
see something
Lieutenant,
like this, I
Detective.
understand why you gentlemen might have thought sabotage was involved.
Lieutenant, are you sure there were no traces
See?
of this saboteur, this X-Man, found after
Oh,
the
the
explosion?
X-Men?
Well, they probably went over everything.
Well, there's a strong possibility that he might have perished in the explosion itself.
I doubt that.
Well, that was my
We're pretty well
enthusiasm for the
convinced this
episode.
man is
We can
carrying
stop
something
here.
that's responsible for all the signal interference. According to the last report I got, there was a definite disturbance about 3 miles east of the oil fields, sometime after the explosion.
Well,
East
then
of
if he's
the oil
alive,
field,
you should be able to
towards
keep an
Japan.
accurate check of his whereabouts.
Yeah.
Not that easy. As a matter of fact, we lost contact about 3/4 of an hour ago.
Maybe you realized you were trailing him.
Three-quarters of an hour towards Japan?
Causing the disturbance.
In that case, there's nothing much my department can do to help you.
I guess it's up to us. Unless you have some suggestions.
Well, let me think out loud for a minute. It might just be that what we've been talking about so far, and this phantom, as we'll call him, ties in with what the doctor and I have been discussing. That is
Space.
very possible. I don't know whether you know it or not, but somewhere around 7:30
So that
this evening,
guy
our
on the
radar
left
networks
is
picked up an
Lieutenant.
unidentified object off Point Barrow, Alaska. They traced it clear down to Santa Monica before they lost it.
Santa Monica. That's where we first picked up our radio interference.
Yeah. Right at the scene of the murder.
Well, then, if all these things tally up, we've got some idea of how our man got here.
You mean that he came in some plane? In that case, somebody would have seen it land and take off again. Or did it crash?
No. No, we don't think it was a plane. No rocket or
I think it was
jet
some
that
sort
was
of
built so
flying
far can attain the
saucer.
speeds of 5,000 miles an hour, particularly for such a great distance.
And maybe we're on the wrong track altogether. Couldn't your unidentified object have been a meteor? They travel at a terrific speed.
Yes, fast enough for most of them to burn themselves out the moment they
I was
hit
gonna
the
make the
Earth's
same joke.
atmosphere. And did it occur to you that meteors are not very likely to travel horizontally all the way from the North Pole to California?
Towards Japan?
If it wasn't a meteor,
Most things cannot travel
flying missile that's
horizontally
untied,
from the North Pole
how
to
do you figure this
California.
phantom ties in?
We're not sure that he does.
I can't.
I don't care what you say, but it doesn't make sense to me. Anybody trained in
There's a lot of
sabotage
things
stay
that don't
undercover.
make sense so far in this
This
movie.
guy's walking around in a monkey suit. Killing
No, a
people.
diving
No,
suit.
diving suit.
Excuse me, Dr. Watt. Is
Oh,
there
there's a
Lieutenant
woman in this
Bowers
movie.
in here?
Oh, yes,
Dr. Watt.
what is this?
There's a Mr. Wakeman from the Chronicle.
Is there a
here to see
Doctor
you.
Who?
Mr. Wakeman.
Now, what does he want?
Well, there's only one way to find out.
Before you go, Lieutenant, I don't believe you have met my assistant, Barbara Randall.
Oh, now we're getting
Barbara.
into it.
Hello.
You have a name, suddenly I'm
It's
interested.
Mrs. Randall, Lieutenant. I'll be right back.
Oh, not single.
You know the
Goodbye.
Major? Of course. And this is Mr.
The Communications Commission.
How do you do?
Well, I see you
Mr.
are working a little
Communications
later than
Commissioner.
usual.
I think he said a
I
name
have
in
been
there.
teaching a late class, and he won't be able to pick me up for a while. Besides, I had some work to do in the lab.
Well, at least you'll have lots of company.
All right. So I shouldn't have come up here.
So that's
But I
Dr.
gotta
Watt.
get your angle on this beach murder.
Dr.
Your
Watt?
whole department is shut up.
What?
Wakeman, will you stop bothering me? There's nothing to say. If you got an
Reverb in this
exclusive
room.
story from that Evans Damon or board, then you know as much as I do.
Yeah, but that still doesn't
There are
explain
no
anything about the
secrets
guy
in this
without a
room.
head.
Come on. How is it?
Your guess is as good as mine.
You mean you let those 2 kids go without knowing that? I don't buy it.
Well, I did.
Well, then you must have an awful good reason. I bet you're trying to tie it in with that other murder. All right, Lieutenant. Don't tell me. I'll get my story somehow. Oh, if you want to know how things turn out.
I keep getting distracted by the size of this man's forehead.
That's right. I get in touch with Charlie in Mobile 1 and have him call for me here.
Oh, Charlie's in Mobile 1.
Did you come up with anything?
No, we're just briefing Barbara here.
It's just amazing the way you've been able to put these things together.
Don't kid yourself, Mrs. Randall. It seems the press knows as much about it as we do.
Well, let's hope they don't come to the same conclusions. A few lurid headlines, and every fool in the country will be seeing phantoms in spacesuits and men from Mars all over the place.
Yes, I can imagine. And mass hysteria is difficult to check once it gets started.
That's why we've got to move fast. Well, from the looks of things, I guess it's up to me. I'll be in touch with you as soon as I hear anything.
See you. By 12:30 a.m., the Dragnet was in operation.
Oh, Dragnet. I love that show.
Patrolled the streets and countryside.
We could have watched
They covered an area
Dragnet.
35 miles square.
I hope they use the parking brake if they're going to
Special
park
and
like that.
sensitive equipment was prepared for action. Everyone on the job was ready to move on the first signal from the Communications Commission.
What does Barbara do again?
Monitor Corona to Mobile.
I don't know, she has a lab, but she's an
4,
assistant.
Brickyard at 160th, moving toward oil fields. Contact your units. Over and out.
Units 1 and 7 from Mobile Center. Units 1 and 7 from Mobile Center.
I like his
Strength
microphone.
4, interference at 160th in the oil field. Moving due east. Close in. Repeating, strength 4, interference at 160th in the oil field. Close in.
Close in.
Close on, then get in. Sorry. Hit him! Hit him! Hit him! Oh.
Wait, is that the Phantom?
I can't tell. Everything is so hard to see.
Here, Joe. Just got here, trying to set this up. What gives, Hazen? It's in this area, all right. I brought the Geiger counter. Thank you, Doctor. Why don't walk over those oil fields?
I brought the Geiger counter.
As far as the oil field,
I brought a rock.
Right, Lieutenant. You two go that way, Lieutenant, out here.
You know, if the rock
Joe, you
stops
follow
him.
Come on, Doctor. And you? Oh, forget it.
If he is stopped by a rock, I will lose it.
Wouldn't be the worst plot thing we've ever seen. Oh, okay.
Hey, look at this. Yeah, points this way.
As radioactive as...
Joe!
Hey, that's Joe.
There goes. I did not expect the Phantom from space to run like that.
Hey,
Not gonna lie, I expect him to be slow and menacing, not just like bolt around.
Going strong. That's it, Doctor. It's leading this way. Come on.
Pallet Jenga.
Somewhere near the camera.
That's this way. Come on.
You feel like we should be playing yakety sax? Oh, come on!
Oh, yes, absolutely. We should be playing yakety sax. Yeah,
that small shove that knocked him over was something.
Going strong. That's right. Checks with me.
Sure does. He's here. We saw him.
There he goes. Come on.
Come on.
Gotta be around here somewhere. Yeah, we gotta get on the roof. Vince, go get a ladder.
Everybody stand in one spot next to these tall stacks of things. Oh, wow, that was supposed to be a joke. Let him go.
Anybody see him? There he is.
It's a good thing he knows how to use earth locks.
We'll give you 10 seconds to come out of there, starting now. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Okay.
5, 6, 7,
What?
8, 9.
Now he's naked.
We're going in. Have you guys cover the door. Come on.
He's got more than no head.
There's nobody in here. Possible we saw him come in. Maybe he went out of the window. We won't get very far. Don't touch anything till we check for fingerprints.
Oh, Doctor, over here. He left his suit and his helmet.
Hey, let's spread that thing out so I can get a good shot of it.
Keep away, you fool.
What's the matter?
For your information, that's a Geiger counter, and it says hands off.
I think you'd better wait outside.
I just have a job to do.
So do we. And I'm afraid ours will have to come first.
And there's no radiation in your helmet. But look at this.
Oh, that's like deadly levels right there.
Yep.
Charlie,
You're all gonna die.
Yep.
Box in a hurry.
Well, Mobile 7 should have one. They're right outside. I'll take a look.
Hurry it up, will you?
Unbelievable. Now, we all thought that this phantom might be carrying some device that was causing all the signal interference. But to learn that it's due to the very clothes on his body.
That's not the only thing that bothers me. Did any of you get a good look at his face?
Not me. He's too far away.
Well, I did.
Anybody
Unless
worried
I'm
about this
mistaken, that helmet was empty.
potentially lethal dose of radiation that
No,
we're all getting?
everything's
Yeah, we
fine.
take it back to the institute.
Right. Find out anything?
Just pick it up with your bare
No,
hands.
that's all right. You can
Oh,
have
no,
it.
we got gloves. And tongs. And our safety trench coats.
Any luck?
Not a sign of him. The boys are still searching the grounds.
For what? Nobody knows what he looks like without that outfit.
I'll bet on that, Major. The reporter got a flash picture of him, and I just happened to borrow that film. It's on its way to headquarters right now to be developed.
Good. Send us a print as soon as you can.
Sure.
Lieutenant, are you sure you don't want to come with us? We want to make a few tests at the lab.
I'd like to, Doctor. Would you know the situation? I gotta get that guy. Let me know how you make out, will you?
Yeah, we'll do that, sure.
Oh man.
Naked, invisible man from space.
You know, it's kind of ingenious because you don't have to film an invisible man.
Yeah,
You have to not film him.
right. There's been plenty of movies about that where, like, I can't remember which movie it was that they talked about it. Like, they didn't have the budget to make invisible man effects, so they just, like, move the camera around like they were tracking somebody, and you just got the impression of where he was. And it, like, worked effective, like, really well. I also love how committed the Invisible Man is to getting his suit. Like, he could get around way more just being invisible, but he had to go right back for his suit.
Hello, Bill.
Yeah.
I see we got here just in time.
Anything new?
Lots of excitement, but that's all. Major, you know Barbara's husband?
Oh, of course. How are you?
How are you?
Oh.
Hey, it's a nice-looking dog you've got there. What's his name?
His name? Venus. Say, Bill,
Venus.
I hate to ask this, but something important has come up, and I wonder, can we borrow Barbara for about an hour or so? I suppose so.
Of course. Darling,
Man.
why don't you go and do the shopping?
Why didn't they just name the
Here's
dog
the list.
MacGuffin?
The market's open all evening.
I may as well.
See you later, darling.
I'll take the dog and tie her up.
Thank you, Bill. Good night. Good night. I'll give you a hand with it.
Oh, thanks, Doc. Easy now. Look out for your fingers.
Hmm.
Look out now.
Get him,
Go,
dog.
go.
Get him, boy.
Go, MacGuffin. That's what I'm calling the dog from now on.
It's a better name.
What was
MacGuffin dog.
What was the dog's actual name?
Venus.
Oh, that's right. Should I have another beer?
Venus.
Oh, I thought that was the bathroom. She just burst into.
Venus, I said be quiet. Come on, girl.
Girl. Good boy.
I'm drinking another beer. Because I can.
Now you stay right here, Venus, and I don't want to hear one sound of it.
You're gonna. If anything happens to the dog, I say we just stop
You
the
were right, Doctor.
movie.
There are no fingerprints anywhere.
What's all this?
Hey, don't touch anything.
You better put some gloves on. Our
This
friend
is like
Rex left
lethally
his suit
radioactive.
You mean you were that close to him?
You're on some gloves.
I'm afraid so. That's up to the police now. Hand me those shears. I want to cut up this material to work with it.
Be sure to breathe in deep as you cut.
Hey, you better have those sharpened.
But I just bought them.
All right.
Here, try this knife.
This material is uncuttable.
Let me try.
Rip it into shape.
This stuff is tougher than nylon. Why don't I try it over a Bunsen burner?
Let's burn this lethally radioactive material.
It doesn't burn either.
It smells like
Let's take a look at it under the microscope.
Look, it's magnetic.
Good.
Magnetic.
Here, look.
Radioactive. And apparently indestructible.
radioactive, indestructible, and magnetic.
Make sure you wear gloves.
It's a good thing those guys can't have children anymore.
This isn't a very good microscope.
What's the matter?
You tell me. Take a look at that weed.
What weed? There is none. This material is one solid mass.
Mass, yes. Why, you're right. It must be some sort of plastic.
No. I'd say it's a metallic substance of some kind.
Well, I've seen a lot of interesting alloys, but never anything like this. Let's try an acid test.
All right.
Go ahead.
We just need to hurt it somehow.
Repel acid like a raincoat repels water.
Why, there's no reaction.
Well, Major, this looks as though we're going to be here for a long time.
No, you'll be dead soon.
6 p.m. I've just discovered super cancer. It's in me.
Now we have it. The helmet is not radioactive. The suit is.
We had that to begin
There
with.
is no doubt. This spacesuit is conditioned to function above 63,000 feet. The human blood would boil, resulting in the body expanding to twice its size. And death, of course.
I know. And it must withstand pressure and counterpressure. Also, it must be so supercharged it can function in thin atmosphere.
Now, let's see what it is that is left in this breathing apparatus.
Well, how are you doing?
The gas in the helmet tank breaks down to 11% methane.
Ordinary marsh gas? What's the rest of the formula?
No, that's where I'm stuck. I can't figure it out. It just doesn't respond to any of the usual tests.
Well, how could anyone exist on that combination of gases?
You and I couldn't. But apparently
Some sort
someone
of
can.
space phantom.
Doctor, are you trying to say that our X-Man doesn't breathe oxygen?
I was not ready for the X-Men.
From what we've seen,
Was not ready for the
Yes,
X-Men.
the characteristics which make him appear human. But added to them is this fabulous radioactivity that none of us could stand. I am puzzled.
He's puzzled.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
fair. I'm pretty puzzled. Also, I've burnt out my energy twice because they've said X-Man more than once.
I think the answer lies right here in this helmet. Obviously, he needs it to survive. Otherwise, he wouldn't have risked wearing it where he was sure to be recognized. As it is, he only took it off when he was cornered.
Well, that explains why he's actually
But
just
what you
running
say
back
is
for it all the
true. How
time.
can he exist without it now?
Let me put it this way. It's like a patient in an iron lung. Sometimes one can be removed for hours at a time without any ill effects.
Exactly. And I think the same principle applies here. And that means sooner or later, he has to get his breathing apparatus back or die.
Apparatus?
I don't understand.
Apparatus.
Well, I've got an idea. If we were to return this whole outfit to where he left it, he might be tempted to come back.
That makes sense.
Dr. Wyatt speaking? Yes, he's here.
No, thank you.
Hello, Major. Still at it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, we
Thing
haven't got a
is
flag
not
yet.
reactive to acids,
The picture?
bases, anti-radiation,
Yeah,
fire, water,
He says the picture the reporter
ice.
took of our man didn't come out.
I was afraid of something
We tried
like that.
urinating on it
The
because we're out of
radioactivity
ideas.
must have
That
burned
didn't
the
do
emotion.
much.
Hello. No, we didn't find any fingerprints at all in his clothes. Did you find any? Too bad.
Hello? Will you wait there, please?
We don't know what to make of
Is
this
her
either.
dog just like
Have you heard
sitting
from the
outside?
communication boys yet?
Probably.
Well, let's hope they turn up with something.
Major, excuse me.
Hold on a second. Yes?
It's Mr. Wakeman of the Chronicle. He insists upon seeing you.
He does. Where is he?
I told him to wait in the lobby.
Good. Hello?
You let your
Yes,
dog
our
free.
friend from the press is here. Don't worry, I wouldn't dare let
Okay.
anyone in on anything. At least not till we get something concrete.
She's just mixing
All right,
stuff.
I'll see you later.
Yeah. She's trying to science her way out
Well,
of
I
it.
guess I'd better see this newspaper man.
She's trying to figure
Wanna
out how
come
to
along,
take down
Doctor? I
Lizardicus.
think I will.
Oh no.
Oh, hello. Remember me?
Certainly.
No.
Yeah, your forehead is unforgettable.
We think so. What's on your mind?
Just
Well, I
push
was
your hat
wondering if
forward
I
a
could
bit.
take a couple of pictures of that suit you brought up here.
I'm sorry, we can't do that.
Oh. Well, now look, I got a wonderful picture of the guy running in the shack, and the lieutenant stuck his nose in my business, and what do I get? A blank.
I don't like the innocent woman in the room with the invisible man
Is that you,
scenario.
Doctor?
She just spilled her jar of asbestos.
Well, you must have some lead on this guy, otherwise you wouldn't have brought that suit up here.
Well, let's just say we were curious.
You really shouldn't have left the dog outside.
Hello, Bill.
Oh,
Back
it's
to
Bill.
the booth? Isn't Barbara through? I don't know. She's still in the lab. Why don't you go up and see?
Yes.
Well.
Barbara? Barbara, are you in there?
Bill, listen to me. I'm not alone. Someone is in here with me.
I can't see him, so he
I thought
probably
he just
can't hear me.
He locked the door and has the key.
I'll break the door down.
No, Bill, don't, please. You better get help.
You mean I've come all the way up here for nothing?
I'm afraid so. Good night.
Yes. Good night, Mr. Wakeman.
Good night.
Okay.
Major, come quick. What's the matter? What's the matter? Where's Barbara? In the lab. The door's locked and there's someone in there with her.
Is the reporter guy gonna run back in?
I thought you said the door was locked.
What? She's gone.
Oh, come to the main entrance.
He's holding her at key point.
I will. Well, in that case, we would have seen her on her way up. Well, then she must still be in the building. We'd better split up. I'll take the roof.
Barbara? Barbara?
Where are you?
What?
What? He's taking her to space.
Any sign of her? Not yet. She must be around here someplace.
Now, you stay here. Watch the main entrance. And I'll check the basement.
I had the strangest dream, and you weren't there, and you weren't there, and the Invisible Man wasn't there. No, he stole my contact lenses.
From all the radiation.
Makes sense. Not again.
So, wait, he took her out of that room, walked her around, and then brought her back to that room.
Here he comes.
Yeah.
You didn't find her?
No. I better
Just to
call the police.
confuse these
But
guys.
there's no telling what could happen to her in the meantime.
No, take it easy. We're doing the best we can.
But she said she was locked in, and she couldn't see who did it. Can you explain that?
No. Not yet.
She didn't say she couldn't see. She just said there was somebody in there with her.
Who are you? Don't come near me.
X-Man.
I'm warning you, don't come near me.
I'm only gonna sing it when somebody in the movie says it. I'm sorry, man.
That's okay.
Don't! The code. I don't understand. You're trying to tell me you need it to breathe, and there isn't much left in the tank. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. I'll write it down.
Don't actually know Morse code.
I don't assume he's actually writing Morse code. I think he's just trying to signal.
1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3.
We found her.
In the lab.
Apparently, if you shine a light on him, you can see him.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
No, please don't.
She's in there.
Barbara!
What's the light?
Darling, are you all right?
I think so. I'm looking for it. I just saw him, so he must be in here.
Oh.
Steady feet to the ground. He would be killed. Right, very good.
Bark, 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 bark.
Come on, Venus.
Sick him, MacGuffin.
It was frightening. I couldn't see him. I didn't know what to do.
Come here. Quick.
Disintegrating.
This is amazing.
It's allergic to lead.
Yeah. Lead and asbestos.
Lead-asbestos. Mankind's secretest weapon.
Now, quiet down, Venus. Quiet down. Down.
You tell him.
Get him, dog.
Mobile Center from Mobile 1, come in, please.
It's the middle of the night. These guys have been out there for like
Get hold
12,
of
14
Major
hours.
Andrews or Dr. Wyatt at the
Yeah.
Institute. I want to talk to
They
either
don't
one.
sleep.
I will do. Stand by, Mobile 1.
They're the real phantoms.
Dr. Wyatt speaking. Oh, yes, Mr.
You
Hill.
know, I'm
Oh,
a
it's
little
Dr.
concerned.
Yes, we're still at it.
Sorry, he said his name. I got.
Lots and lots of excitement, but nothing definite
I'm
yet.
just thinking about
Have
how
you
the
anything to
alien
say?
has a human hand. He's just invisible.
Yeah.
The trouble seems to be just about gone. We got a flash in the direction of the observatory once in a while, but I figure that's because of the outfit you're testing.
Yes, Lieutenant Bowers ought to be here any minute. Of course. How long will it take you to get up here? Good. See you then.
All right, that made sense.
Thank you, gentlemen. Put it down here, please. Barbara, bring that cord in over there. Now you're going to see.
Good.
I have to resort to ultraviolet light in order to show you what little there is left of the spacesuit.
That's ultraviolet light.
Mm.
That
As
makes
you can
sense.
see,
That's how ultraviolet light
It has
works.
reduced itself to this liquid and it is in an evaporating stage. The helmet is in the lab and still intact.
This is amazing. All the radiation in this suit would be fatal to a normal human being wearing it.
Of course.
Um,
And furthermore,
they finally acknowledged how fatal that amount of radiation is,
gases such
Yep.
as we have found in that breathing device.
and none of them are
And we have
concerned
to
that
assume
they've
our
just been
so-called
standing around
X-Man
breathing
carried
it.
his own atmosphere with him. Excuse me.
It's the 50s. Nobody
But
worried
as a
about
matter
that
of
kind of thing.
curiosity, why do we refer to this thing as a him?
You're right. The fact that he pulls out a
I thought it
cigarette
was
right
invisible.
afterwards really says a
Under
lot.
normal conditions, yes. Yet, Mrs. Randall did
Fatal
see the
radiation, you
imprint of a
say?
large
Oh,
foot
not
and
worried
a
about
masculine
that.
hand under ultraviolet light.
How do you explain that?
I don't know, but the human body is composed of various elements with a carbon base, like coal. Yes. Now, suppose we maintain the same chemical composition in the body of the X-Man, but substitute for carbon. Exactly. Now, it is possible
Hope
that
your
the
wife
body
hears
with
you.
such a base, if it were subjected to an atmosphere
Actually, more
foreign to
scared
its
of
origin,
scaring one of my
might appear
children.
invisible to our eyes.
Your children are used to
Are
it.
you trying to say, Doctor, that we're not dealing with a human being?
I didn't say that. On the contrary, all the evidence points in the opposite direction. Toward a superhuman, with an intelligence far superior to
Like
our
a
own.
mutant.
How can you tell?
First of all, Mrs. Randall saw that he has a hand with digits like our own fingers and a thumb opposing. That alone is a sign of intelligence. And he comes from a
Good
civilization
hands means you're
that
smart.
has developed adequate space transportation to enable him to travel to Earth. We have nothing yet that can reach even another planet in our own solar system.
That could account for the unidentified objects picked up by radar a few hours ago.
My theory is that the spaceship, or whatever it was that he came in, operated on the principle of magnetic rather than atomic propulsion, and that
that makes
somewhere
sense.
in the outer limits met with a condition where the Earth's gravity pulled it down and it fell into the ocean, and that he managed to save his life and reach shore.
You really can pick up any type of communications interference, no matter how weak the signal may be.
Sure thing. We were on his trail from the minute he left the beach.
I never knew you carried such
Never
sensitive
lose
instruments in your car.
What you told us is very interesting, Doctor. But I've got to make an official report to headquarters. Are you willing to be quoted that the criminal we're after is a creature from another world?
All I can say is, we know that our Earth is not the only planet capable of sustaining life in one form
You know
or
that?
another. You can quote
We're
that.
totally
Well,
we're
I've got to
positive.
go by some footprints in a hand. That isn't much. No fingerprints, no description, no nothing. And we're after a killer.
Has it occurred to you that our X-Man has no apparent and might therefore not be intentionally central at all?
You have a point there.
Hey, wait a minute. Come to think of it, the young
How many
boy
times am I going to hear
just
myself
say that
say
the girl
that?
husband threw the first punch. So?
So that could have been enough to provoke the strange creature. And the same could have happened at the second murder.
Sure. But what about the fire in the oil fields?
Evidently, our man sensed the presence of some gases, which he thought might be utilized in his breathing apparatus.
Yeah, that could account for his presence at the oil refineries, where something went wrong, causing the explosion.
Too bad he got wise to us and took off his uniform, or we'd have been able to catch up with him by now.
Nowhere will we ever be able to find him.
No, he didn't utter a word. But I'm convinced he was trying to convey a message to me. He kept tapping out a code. I wrote it down.
Let me see that, please. Doesn't make sense.
Well, it may be based on some mathematical system we know nothing about.
But he was trying to tell us something. Why did he run away?
Why, indeed, did he run away from the people trying to kill him?
That's rude.
So rude.
What do you think of that? Huh. Hazen must be crazy sending out stuff like that.
I guess so. Why don't you try and get a hold of him?
Yeah. Mobile 1 from Mobile Center. Come in, please. Mobile 1 from Mobile
Woo!
Center. Come in, please. Mobile 1 from Mobile Center. Come in, please.
Hey, that's Central calling.
Car's haunted again.
I'll go tell Hazen.
Yes, Colonel Powell.
Let's split up. Yeah.
Of course, I'll mail you a complete report first thing in the morning. Yes, sir, thank you. Oh, and I'm awfully sorry to disturb you so late at night. Right, good night, sir.
He's around here, this invisible guy. He was in the car.
How do you know?
I was talking to Randall outside when I heard Central calling. Before I could get over to answer, I saw the door open and shut by itself.
He's desperate. For all we know, he could be trying to send a distress signal to his home base, wherever that is.
Well, let's hope he doesn't get through. We've got enough
Center
problems, just one of those guys.
Well, at least we know he's surrounded the vicinity, and it's obvious what keeps him around.
Of course. He's got to come back for what little gas there is left in his helmet.
And when he does...
Oh, please, the most important thing is to take him alive. If we can only make each other understand, there's no telling how much science can profit.
I'll go along with that, Doctor. But I've got to make sure that once he's cornered, I'll be able to hang on to him.
I think we're all agreed on that.
All quite good, and we must see it from his angle. He's in an alien
14 minutes, let's catch him.
We are as frightening to him as he is to us. Now, the most important thing then is to keep calm at all costs and do nothing to provoke him.
Immediately, a simple plan to trap the Phantom went into operation.
Cool, thanks,
All
narrator.
obstacles to his entry were removed. To erase any possible suspicion, the doors were left unguarded, and inconspicuous electric eye equipment was set up. All this was connected to a makeshift control board, which would immediately signal the exact location of the trespasser. Now, there was nothing
By
to
this
do
one
but
light.
wait. The one road leading to the Institute was blocked off to make certain no outsider would upset the plans or interfere in any way.
What's the big idea?
Sorry, nobody's allowed through here.
Who said so?
Lieutenant Bauer's orders.
Oh, is he up there?
He might be.
Well, you get word to him that Joe Wakeman of the Chronicle is here.
Sorry, bud, I can't leave.
Yes.
Oh, what about them over there? Hey, you over there.
Me?
Yeah. Aren't you the guy from the communications outfit? Didn't I see you down at the oil fields a couple hours ago?
What of it?
Nope.
You got anything to do with this?
Well, you'll have to ask Lieutenant
Yeah, we're
Bauer
sending a
about
message
that.
to your mom.
How can I if he won't see me?
That's a good question.
Ex-mom.
Well, it's 3:45.
Sure taking his time.
Time is cheap.
So they've been up
How long
all
can you
night.
sit on the edge of your
Yeah.
chair like this?
Oh, dear, if we have to.
That poor dog.
I only hope this mechanism works.
It will, unless he flies in between the wires.
I wouldn't take any bets that he can't.
Well, if everything else fails, we still have Venus here to help us. You know, I'm certain she sensed his presence before. That's why she carried on so.
I love the spooky music.
That's how you know he's there.
What's the matter, Lieutenant? Is this thing getting you?
Oh, no. I'm just thinking about public reaction to all this. I'll give something to the press by morning.
Is the Invisible Man going to kill the reporter?
Probably.
The only thing we could hope for at this point.
Yep.
You know, ever since I was a kid, I wanted to be a pilot. Then after I got my wings and had 75 missions, I thought I'd seen everything. Now, after all this, I know I haven't seen anything.
He's here.
West.
Back in. Let's head him off. Remember, now, take it easy. Don't crash.
Remain calm. Stay calm. Calmly.
West. Towards Japan.
He totally fell down those stairs.
Let's go into that lab and shut that door that they keep locking on me.
Hey, what are you guys trying to do?
Well, it's the reporter.
Yeah, it sure is. What's going on around here? You guys crazy?
West, 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 west.
Uh-oh.
How'd you get in here? Oh, that don't make any difference. Come on, what's up? What's going on?
All right, Lieutenant, you better tell him. I'll reset the wires.
I hope the dog's okay.
Let's just do some random chemistry.
I've been up all night and I just want the science.
Don't be afraid. We want you to live. Don't you understand? Can't you speak? Can't you say something, in anything, in any language?
I've been trying to speak to you in my language, but you don't understand it. Crap works both ways, buddy.
Listen, everybody. He's in the lab with me now. He's in the lab with me now.
Calmly, calmly.
Be quiet. The door's unlocked. Hurry, he's having trouble breathing. I don't think he can last much longer. And please, don't let Venus get at him. And walk in quietly.
Quiet, Venus.
Quiet.
They keep acting like this invisible guy's also deaf.
It's unbelievable.
Or just can't understand him.
You see, there's nothing to be afraid of. Nobody wants to hurt you.
I've tried to reason with him. I feel he understands, but he can't speak.
Wait a minute, I'll try his code. I think I remember it right.
Oh, a reporter's gonna understand that.
Of course.
Better plug in the ultraviolet light.
Oh no!
Oh!
Wow.
Oh. Well, at least the reporter did get it.
They spend a lot of time just running back and forth.
Not bad to last that full hour. Actually, I keep laughing because the floor looks extra slippery, and a few of them look like they don't have very good support on their shoes.
He must be there.
You have the light the ultraviolet light that makes it visible. Why don't you just see if he's there?
There, he's going up the ladder. Take this. I'm going after him. The door. In here with a big telescope.
Telescope?
Telescope.
For a second, I thought they said telescope.
Yeah, in here with the big telescope.
I thought he said telescope, like a pillow fight.
Oh.
Close the door. The switch is over there.
It's what's the X-Men thing with the
Cerebro?
Yeah.
This is what I've been waiting for. Please, Lieutenant. This is our last chance. We have to take him alive.
Plug in the lamps. There's an outlet here.
Well, that's why they haven't been using the light.
Makes sense. Oh! Even the dog was confused by that.
It is me, Alien Jim.
If I hadn't seen this with my own eyes.
What do we do now?
Stand back.
I'm gonna shoot him.
Amazing. This code again. Look. He's trying to speak, but no sound is coming out of his mouth.
Look at Venus. She acts as though she hears him.
Yes. Dog can hear sounds that we can't. His voice must be beyond the range of the human ear.
Yeah, that
Maybe
checks
he's
out.
Screaming.
He's suffocating.
I'm allergic to dogs.
That would be the suckiest
No,
end.
it's almost gone.
He's gonna die.
Oh, he's just visible now?
We won't need these lights anymore.
Okay.
The deaf ear has become visible. As a
That
normal
totally
body.
checks out.
Oh, he's very radioactive.
That checks out.
And carcinogenic. Just stand here for 10 minutes and watching this body.
Breathe in his essence.
Yes.
He's evaporating. So he came here
to die
in the front, and right before our eyes, his body went through the final phases of life.
Oh, sucks to be him. Everyone want to go home?
It's morning.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to say before I make my comments?
I don't know what that movie was about.
You know, I hate to say it. I don't hate to say it. I love to say it. I think this is the best alien encounter movie I've ever seen. I mean, a lot of it was confusing, but like that was the point. Like, even in the end, they never understood what he was trying to say. Like, it remained a mystery to the end.
You're right.
So, it may not be the most satisfying, but it definitely has that, like, it has a good understanding of keeping the sheer, I don't know what term I want to use this, like, that abstract confusion that it needs.
They could have just done, they could have just did better.
They could have done a little better.
No, they could have done a lot better.
They could have done a lot better. They could have done a little better. But I honestly, nobody could make this movie today and keep whatever he was trying to say a mystery at the end. It's just something you couldn't do today. And for that reason alone, I'm giving it a 7.
Okay. I'm sticking by my original.
I didn't hear your original.
I didn't say it, but I typed
okay.
in 2.
I didn't 2?
Yeah,
because I mean, there's a lot that could have been.
And it's mostly because, like, they didn't do a good job of introducing the characters or making me even care.
No. I got confused under which character was which a lot.
And then, like, you had Lieutenant and Dr. Watt, which was I found out was Wyatt. They just said it, so fast.
I pronounced a few things randomly weird. That started from the beginning.
Yeah.
There are some things I chalk up to just the age of communication not being the same.
What? Dr. What?
What? But yeah. I can see why people wouldn't like it, but I feel like we will never get a movie where they will keep a secret like that to the end. Unless it's made by one of those eccentric, well-known developers, directors.
Yeah.
So, unless we can get Quentin Tarantino to remake this movie, it just ain't happening. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
You think he was just trying to, like, give out the Atom codes to, like, what he needs to breathe? Like, he's just desperately asking.